There are multiple ways to keep in touch with the Wolf Connection podcast. Through our Instagram handle, the Wolf Connection Pod, and for comments and questions, send us an email to podcast@wolfconnection.org with your comments, questions, and guest ideas for Stephen and myself. You may hear your question answered on an upcoming podcast. Thank you for your support, and howls to you all. Welcome to the Wolf Connection podcast. I'm your host, John Calfa. Let's talk about some more. So this is something that Stephen, myself, and our guest who you guys have heard a couple of times already, she's the director of programs for Wolf Connection, Dr. Amanda Beer. I like to do that just to put that in. But we all are part of, as well as other members of Wolf Connection, both on-site, remote, things like that, working on this really incredible platform that is... It's a multimedia educational platform for youth. And the reason that I reached out to Amanda, she's obviously we all work together, and we wanted to really show all of you or have you all listen to what this platform really is about and the amount of work that's gone into it. And it's an incredible platform to serve all of the youth that can't physically come to Wolf Connection and be at the sanctuary and experience these things really on the ground. So I wanted to have Amanda on because she's really been spearheading this. Stephen has created unbelievable videos that you guys will ultimately be seeing sooner than later around the globe. And no, I'm not kidding about around the globe because this is going to be a global thing. So Amanda, if you can, because since you really are the person that has made this thing a reality, because you've spearheaded this from the get-go along with other people. But just tell everyone really about what does it mean to have a multimedia educational platform for youth, and what is it going to entail for everyone when they look at this when it comes out?
I would be happy to. Thank you, John. Good to be with you both. So this multimedia platform originally developed as an immersive program that can be done virtually. It's called Wolf Lessons for Human Lives. And back when Teo published his book, Teo, our founder and CEO, published his book, The Wolf Connection, in 2019, and had this dream of taking content from the book and making it available to youth all over the globe so we could really share the magic of what wolves teach us about being human beyond, our ranch in Southern California. And of course, as a nonprofit, you're always, scrambling to do what you can do and grow little by little. The board turned him down. And it was one of those things that maybe would always be a dream. And then when we basically were forced to close for business during the height of COVID, we didn't really have the resources, but we had the time, and we made it happen. So, but I want to name that this virtual immersive program, was not created as a response to COVID. It was created as a way to share the magic of what we do beyond the perimeters of this ranch. So it's a 12-module program that presents a wolf lesson or wolf principle, and each module showcases one of the wolves as basically the teacher of that lesson, and includes videos of that wolf, information about their story, different options for meditation or grounding, ways to practice being like a wolf in your everyday life. And it can be done individually. The way that we're really promoting it is doing it in a classroom or as part of a group, having that pack mentality for a way for young people to engage the content together.
So because I saw because we promoted this on social media, and this is really the spearhead for me when I saw it, and I said we need to piggyback off this and really push to a large audience and so that people can understand it. And like you said, this was already an idea that was circling about, and it wasn't, like you say, a response. It really was something that I think yourself, really yourself and Teo, and I think the rest of us have really gotten behind as a way to reach out to everyone, because this is something that everyone should be able to capture, to immerse themselves in, because it's tough for a lot of folks just to even get to our ranch, even if they live in the same state or in the same county. So there's a lot of things, and this really is going to extend beyond the boundaries of the ranch, and understanding that. What I saw in the post is that we're looking for educational partners, we're looking for testers and things like that. So what does it mean to become an educational partner, to be a tester? Because there's a bunch of things that come along with that. But what if they sign up for this, or how do they get involved? What's something that you want to say to everyone there, Amanda, that they, when you become an educational partner in Los Angeles specifically to try it, what's the goal for them when they see this, and that it's going to come into their classrooms?
Let me speak to two things really quickly to give some context, and I'll invite folks how to partner with
Sure.
us. One is that people
Yeah.
might think doing a virtual immersive program is nothing like connecting with a wolf in person. And you can attest to this, Stephen and John, having interviewed the youth and worked closely with the programs and adults as well, that one of the things we see is that what people connect with most are the stories of the wolves. There's the stories of how they got to us, and their stories of resilience, growth, courage. And every human I've ever met that's visited has deeply connected with one story, and almost in the sense of, how does it that this wolf reflects my life, what I'm going through, whether it's, losing one's voice, like Mia having her vocal cords cut, or Coda having so much loss in his life, or the wolves that have overcome severe anxiety and fear. So I just want to name that this is what folks connect to in this virtual program. And the other thing that's really exciting is this is something that Wolf Connection developed. We developed it in collaboration with a professional studio in the UK, and the state and county have funded us to serve the youth of Los Angeles. So we have been blessed to have a lot of interest in this program. So we have limited time funding through 2025 through 2025. So partnering looks like, if you are in Los Angeles County, if you are a teacher, an educator, a counselor, doing homeschool, any way that you're involved with youth in Los Angeles County, another nonprofit, we would love to hear from you, to work with you. And what we mean by testing the course is the course is still new. So the course or the program, whatever you want to call it. So by partnering with us, you get the program, the main curriculum at no cost, but you're willing to give us feedback, let us know how it's going, what's working, what's not working, how can we make it better. It's gone through a lot of stages of editing and use and revising, and it's still been out for a year now. We just completed our first year of delivery. So it's to be of service, to have something very unique and different. A lot of virtual programs are kind of hypothetical, right? You're learning things in an online format. You're learning about these wolves, but they exist in real time. And if you're in Los Angeles County and you participate and you have a way to get to the ranch for the youth that complete the entire 12 modules at present, until we fill up, your class or school can come out to the ranch for a visit, and the youth and the adults participating can meet the wolves in person. So that's an incentive that we're offering until we can no longer do it because we max out our resources. So reach out soon, please. And we'll work closely with you. The other thing we've been offering, and again, we'll do this until we run out of resources, is we talk a lot about the crisis happening with youth right now, that, by the way, was happening before COVID. Just some people would call it mental health, or we can just look at it as an invitation to pay attention to young people whose coming of age process is simply not okay. in today's reality. But we're also, for those of you that are listening who are counselors, educators working with school systems, we're also seeing a huge crisis amongst this population of burnout, needing to be held and holding all these young people. So one of the things that we've been offering for new partners is an opportunity for a team under, 15, 20 people of your staff to come out, get some wolf medicine, see if you're really into it. And then initially that can be pro bono. If you want to do more, there will be a cost, but it's a way to use some of this funding to serve the providers in Los Angeles County. And then as folks implementing the course, you have a real sense of what the ranch is about and are able to share that with the young people.
It's such a great platform as well. The actual interface is beautiful. The way they did the graphics and the animations were inviting, and it's just a testament to the Wolf Connection spirit as well. How many new concepts and ideas and new outreach came out of this pandemic, new staff, new ways of being and working and reaching out to youth. I mean, it really just clarifies the priority of Wolf Connection, which is really changing the world through youth. Even when we were, at our hardest times, you guys still managed to come up with some genius thing to reach youth, and it's really impressive. Such a inspiring testament to the WC spirit.
I agree with you. I think it's so, and I want all of you that are listening to really, I encourage too for you to look. It'll be the latest post on Wolf Connection's Instagram. And Amanda, you said it, and it's really what I find so profound about this is marrying the multimedia platform space, meaning that it's sort of a remote space outside of the physical that's at WC. But what Steven created in this video that you guys will see that's on Instagram right now is really you're in, maybe you might be doing this course from a classroom or a computer, wherever it may be, but you really do feel like you're immersed at Wolf Heart Ranch. And that the invitation, Amanda, I think is so special to invite those individuals while we can to experience these things on the ground, in person, wolf to human. And that's so wonderful because you get to see the course and then you get to really realize where this inspiration comes from. And that it's really, we can say all we want about where it was twirling around in our human brains, but we say this a lot, and Stephen and I and you, Amanda, when you've been on, is that really the wolves are the teachers. And they are the ones that have been sort of energetically putting this stuff out and saying, hey, our work doesn't just stay here in this little 165 acre plot. It's supposed to be more. It's supposed to be further. It's supposed to be farther. It's supposed to be ever reaching. And so that it can circle the globe. So I love the invitation for not only kids and also for the practitioners and the teachers and the counselors. I mean, it's such an invite and it's a huge invitation. And any of those of you that are listening that are in those fields, listen to what Amanda's saying, and really we hope and we do invite all of you to take part in this and come out to us so that we can really show you a lot of what's going on and just the ever expanding process that's going on here at the ranch, because it's still ever growing.
Well, I'm realizing I forgot to name the most special part. We had our first graduating class out today who did the virtual, and they came to do their on-site graduation celebration. So I asked them what their favorite part was. And of course, you know what they said, the videos. Yeah, but not everyone does the work that you do, Stephen and John. So some of you may know this and some of you may not. You might know Stephen and John as podcasters, but they also do all of our media and create the most breathtaking videography that really captures the essence of the work, documents the magic and really how wolves connect with humans. And And the really exciting thing about this course is we didn't just get funded to do that. We do know that videos are
well,
probably
that's all
people's
kids now,
favorite
right? They like
things.
videos.
So
They like
in
visuals, man.
addition to just the 12 modules that you can work through, Stephen and John are actively, creating and producing these bite-sized media videos that showcase each of the wolf lessons. With all this beautiful footage of the wolves and with the humans that work with the wolves. And probably one of the most special things, our youth who have graduated our programs, who now work at Wolf Connection, talking about the wolves and their experience with the wolves. So we've got a full circle of, development here. And I just wanted to name that. We're also partnering, even if you want to test out just these video snippets, we'll have different iterations, 30, 60, 90 seconds, some are longer, that really can start giving, your community of youth, families, schools, school system, a taste of the work. And then if when they bite, there are always more and more ways to be involved with our organization if it's a good fit for your community.
Yeah. I want to, and that's great that you said that. We appreciate it. I said at the top, but I really want to, you guys have to understand the amount of magic really that Stephen has in the way that he puts his stuff together. I'm there to produce. I shoot a little bit of it. Stephen really is a magical person in the way that he's able to marry these things together. Oh, so, and it's, I don't know why I'm getting choked up. I know why I am, but it's just,
you're my buddy.
I know. And we've been working together for a long time now. And so it's wonderful to see now and we thank, the county and the people that are funding this. You all have to understand that this is such a huge passion of ours, of the three of us here. And it's not just the three of us. There are multiple other individuals, groups, like Amanda said, the studio in the UK. There are people that all really believe in this project, that really believe in this mission, that these things are going to be showcased and really going to help serve everyone. And that is really the bottom line goal, is what we're trying to do here, is to get this stuff out there. And yes, like Amanda said, these bite-sized videos are coming along. I don't know when the deliverable is for that and when you'll start seeing them in schools, but I believe it's soon. I don't know if Amanda, if you have an update for that, if you can share that or not. But they are coming along, and you will really firsthand get to see not only, and we are not in the front of these by any stretch, you're not going to see our faces, but like Amanda said, it's really wonderful to work with the youth and to see them really shine, because they go through the program and they come out the other end, and just the way they express these lessons to all of you that you're going to see is really unbelievable, because you just don't know what's inside of any individual until you just sort of put them in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. And man, it's just the first couple we've done, the expression, the exuberance, the magic that comes out of these youth is just, it floors me sometimes when I look at it put together. So you guys are going to get to see that. So Amanda, is there, I know we're all still in talks about when these things are coming. Is it ready for fall? Will these be out for fall? Some of them out for fall of 23, that school semester, or are we still waiting on that?
Yeah, as long as you all are in cooperation. And we'll be, we are ready to roll out in fall with the videos. And so of the 12 modules, we'll have about half by then, and then can roll out the rest as they're ready.
Yeah, and I just want to say too about the visuals, and thank you, John.
So you guys will get to be able to see that.
And I was getting choked up too, man. You're like my brother now, and I'm so happy to have you on the visual, on the media bandwagon now, and I get to bounce ideas off of you. And you have such a unique relationship with the animals it's different than mine. It's in a very different way, and so I value your opinion. and I definitely feed off of that as well. And of course, Amanda's always endlessly helpful and willing to, you know, be in the trenches with us, because sometimes it is hard filming for very obvious reasons. Animals are hard, and people are even harder, to be fair. But the magic of the visuals for me is the youth, and I learned over years of shooting there that, like, they're such deep individuals, and I feed off of that so much. Sometimes it's like intense and overwhelming how deep young people can be. I don't remember, like, I mean, when you're young, you can't put it into perspective. But now looking at them, I don't even know through what eyes or whatever. But it's just they're such deep individuals, and sometimes it's deep ambition, and sometimes it's deep pain, and it's just deep, whatever it is. And I definitely pull from that when I'm just filming the wolves. And sometimes I think it conjures that out of the moment, even with the wolves. And I think a lot of, I think it'd be easy to assume that I pull from the wolves and then I apply that to the kids. But in fact, it's like I pull from the kids, the energy they have at the medicine wheel and the energy they have when they're hiking. And I bring that into the rest of the shooting, even when I'm shooting the creek or something like that. So I think sometimes it comes through the edits and the footage and the way it flows. So it's definitely, the magic is definitely them.
I mean, what did you see, Amanda, for this first graduation? How are they, just to be on site, for them to get to see the wolves, to see the land, to see where this all came from? What was was there any specific things that stood out for you that they said, or that they just were wherever they were?
Yeah, I mean, in the vein of, it's not a good day at Wolf Connection if no one cries. We're we're in the circle, and I noticed a lot of them like remembered the stories, but because there are 12 modules, they didn't remember like the name of the wolf that went with the story, right? Trying to ask them who they want to meet, and what stood out to them, and they're trying to remember the name. And so one young man says, "The white one," and I was like, "Well, there's several white ones. Which one?" And he says, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know, but I think she was mixed with coyote." And I, I was like, "Ooh." And Ayasha passed, about a year ago, maybe this week. So I, got my composure a little bit and said, we would be happy to um, take you to visit Ayasha at her grave. And so then at the end of the program, he and another student wanted to go see Ayasha's grave, and they, took a stone down to place it. And then some of the other students wanted to do that. So um, it just came up as something that was really touching. And I think one of the special things we do is, not shying away from loss and death. And a lot of the wolves teach about that. And it's a way for young people to land in the reality of the loss and traumas that we go through, and to recognize that we're built for that. We're built to move through it. And the wolves remind us, of what we already know in that vein. So, um, of course, they remembered Annie, who's showcased in Wolf Lesson 1. They said the tripod one. And so we can name here that Annie has 3 legs, but that's not her story. Annie is a warrior, and that's her. Yeah, yeah. So, and then some of them, we work with these 8-session on-site programs. So this was their first day here. They don't know me or the other staff, so they're a little shy. A little shy at the beginning, as many of us are, and as wolves are, of course. Um, and so I just want to, off of what you were saying. So I know that, they're shy, and then they open up more. The wolves always invite them to open up more by the end. So they're sharing more. And I was reminded of our staff member, who I won't name because we're on video, that that is in what that initial video, the new video with Annie, sharing on camera. And she went through 2 programs at Wolf Connection and didn't speak, 2 8-session on-site programs, and maybe said 2 words. And now is in front of the camera, filming wolf stories. So I know that went beyond the students on site today, but is, just seeing some of that reflected, and even this like shyness at the beginning of visit, and then the wolves have this way of opening us up, and by the end, they're more open to express their voices and share more. They talked about how Mia still in a whisper, shares her voice with the pack. So it was pretty impactful for them to see the wolves in real life.
Yeah. I want to touch, Stephen, too, what you were saying about the animations and the graphic, and Amanda too. Just the avatars are so awesome, and I think that's those of you. Again, I think those of you that are listening, you'll be pleasantly surprised about the accuracy, the level, and like Amanda said, it's gone through tweaks and edit. It's just like anything, patches, if you want to call them. those of you that are tech savvy. So a lot of patching going on, but really embodying the base of what the wolves are. Like Luna's was very specific, and Ayash's and Annie and Kenai. So just, and I'm saying these names, and we've said these names a couple times in the podcast. So I think when you eventually go through the program and you see these avatars, you're going to go, wow, this took time and effort, and it really shows in the final product of how it relates to the real physical wolf and the traits that are shown in the platform. So it's such an amazing thing. I mean, we have the 3 of us here have conversations about this. It seems like daily now at this point, because we're so entrenched in it. We're so moving forward, and it's truly exciting for us to be able to share these things with you as it continues to evolve, as it continues to change, but that we can finally put something there for you all to experience, to serve all of you that are out there that may be wanting to go through this. And I know, Amanda, you were going to touch on this, because I know there's ways for them to get in touch with the org in a way to, like you said, sign up for partnership, to look to test it. What are some of the ways that people can reach out and get in touch with us about, like I said, either going through the program, partnering, or otherwise?
Yeah, what I would recommend is to go to the landing page, which is wolflessons.org. And then you can see a promo video, you can see some of the animations, you can see the first bite-size media lesson showcasing the wolves and 2 of our program graduates and employees. And then if that entices you, the email address is on there, wolflessons@wolfconnection.org. And I also will say, I mentioned folks in LA County. If you're outside of LA County and you're interested, reach out. So number 1, we may be able to give you access to test. It's a possibility. Number 2, the goal is that by January 2024, we'll be able to sell the course and program outright for partners in other states. So that's the goal. And again, for some, if we have the bandwidth, we may be able to invite some testers outside of the county currently. But if nothing else, you can get on the wait list to be able to purchase, which in the course will be, very affordable given the format, to purchase it in the beginning of next year. So please, if you're outside the California area and you're intrigued, reach out.
And I think one thing to, it's available in both English and Spanish. So I think that was something that we wanted to also mention there. So do not let that deter you by any stretch. We will obviously have all of these links and the ways to contact in the description. So don't think you guys have to keep rewinding the podcast. When we do this, we do a pretty good job, but we'll make sure that we have all the contact info. Amanda, is there anything else that the 3 of us didn't get to? Anything really at the core of, like I said, either contact, reach out, partnership, anything that people need to know other than just you going to the, like you said, to the website or things like that? Is there something else that anyone needs to know more about the platform other than what we've already talked about? I think we've did a pretty good job. And obviously this will be one of many. So as we progress, just know that this is one of, down the line, we're going to have hopefully maybe some students, some individuals who have already gone through the program and the platform. So just keep that in mind. This is not just a one-off. So, but Amanda, I don't know if you have anything else that you feel needs to be out there in the universe, in the ether and things like that.
The only thing I'll end with is that, I mean, we're not here to convince anyone. Our experience has been that once humans experience the work we do, their hearts are changed forever and they become lifelong fans. And some of that's hard to put in words. And if you are, someone who works with youth, we understand there are a lot of things, a lot of programs out there, a lot of platforms, a lot of things being thrown at you. So really would invite you to try it out, to go take a look. Again, we're not here to convince you. We think if you get a taste of it, that, you'll feel the magic as well. And this is not intended to be one more thing in the classroom or, an additional thing. The curriculum is social emotional learning. It's preventative for all of the crises that we see with youth. And it's fun and engaging and addressing, the real life things that we see with the youth that we work with. We're not only facing coming of age stuff, but abuse, abandonment, neglect, poverty, racism, oppression, all of it. So I'll stop. So what I'm saying is, give it a taste for yourself. You're also welcome to reach out and just get a promo of the course and take a look before you want to get into further contracting with us. So
I love it. That's the way to end it. And again, if you're interested, and again, those of you that keep reaching out to us on the Instagram for our Wolf Connection pod, if you guys are interested and maybe you hear it and you just want to reach out to us and we can forward you to Amanda. I mean, we are, again, all three of us are involved along with others. So reach out to all three of us. If you just hear it on a whim and you're just like, hey, I know I can message Stephen and John on Instagram or whatever it is. So that's also another way. But Amanda, thank you for coming on, and so we could expand this out to more folks. And you guys will be hearing more about this. So a huge house to all of you out there. Stephen, I'll be with you next time. And that's it. Talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Looking to support Wolf Connection or sponsor one of the wolves in our pack? Just go to wolfconnection.org, click on the donate tab, and find out more information.